All right, introducing today's baking accomplishment. I think I'm going to call it an accomplishment. French croissants. Look at that. Golden brown, flaky, multi-layered, delicious. Despite how well I might edit and cut this video, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I feel like a blasphemous intruder upon the classical French artisanal croissant makers. I am going to try to make croissants. Now, I've reviewed 4, 5, 6 YouTube videos, recipes. I've watched that Chef Gordon guy interview, some French chef in a place in France, in Pilsbury, and it's an art. It's crazy. It is unbelievable that such simple little pastries can take as much effort as these videos make them out to look. What the hell? We're gonna do this. Ingredients are critical. They're all like, don't use that measuring cup thing. You gotta use a scale. The ingredient balance, they make sound like rocket science. And if you get it wrong, the croissants are gonna be like Pilsbury Doughboy croissants. Mine might turn out to be just like that. There are some critical issues apparently. One, just your kitchen temperature needs to be perfect. Some of these people are like, kitchen needs to be 73 to 75 degrees. I'm in Arizona, it's 110 degrees outside, 105 today. And my house, I'm happy when it's at 82, that's typically what we set. In order to get this croissant recipe down, we're gonna be lowering the house temperature. And then there's like discrepancies in ingredients. Some of these guys say, this active yeast is cool. Others are like, no, you gotta use the instant gold yeast. Some say milk, whole milk. Some say cream. One recipe doesn't even have milk or cream. One thing that's critical is high-fat butter. European butter, they say, most butter in the United States, who knew, is around 80% milk fat or butter fat. And you need like something higher than 83%, preferably even, if you get good butter to like 90%. Well, this pasture-raised, unsalted butter is 85% butter fat. That's what we're going with. It's the best I could find. Then there's the flour, and some places even talk about having a mix of bread flour and all-purpose flour. So we're going with the all-purpose flour, but I did raise up a notch, and we're gonna go with some Navajo Pride, again, in honor of cooking croissants in Arizona and respect of the Navajo people and the Navajo Nation. We're gonna use Navajo Pride unbleached all-purpose flour. 475 grams of all-purpose flour. 65 grams of white granulated sugar. Here we have 8 grams of the active dry yeast. 10 grams of sea salt. 25 grams of unsalted butter. 31 grams of whole milk. 240 grams, pretty much exactly 1 cup of water. Okay, so first I'm going to prepare my yeast using like a 1/4 cup of the total 1 cup of water. I'll set a teaspoon of sugar, which and now we're ready for the dry ingredients. So we got our flour, and the sugar. Stir that together a little bit. drizzle it to get it everywhere. Got my my yeast mixed in, and they say that salt and yeast don't like each other. So some recipes put the salt in at the same time as the yeast, but a couple of them specifically said, you know, once the yeast is mixed in, add your salt a little after. Okay, and then you want to mix in the butter. It's supposed to be at room temperature, and I've sort of cut it up into little chunks to help melt it in. And again, some of these recipes just say, use your hands. I'm gonna go to hands now. Then you can soften up the butter. Work it into the flour. It's supposed to be room temperature butter. I think we got pretty close. Now we put in the rest of the 3/4 cups of water. I've made a little well in my dry ingredients there, and then this we also put in the cream, or in my case, whole milk, and go back to. Okay, well, still more dry ingredients in here than I imagined it's supposed to have. I'm wondering, my room temperature isn't cool enough. Could probably use a little bit more wet, but I think we're gonna get there. This is kind of like where we're at right now. There's still some dry, flaky things in the bottom. I think we're getting there. Yeah. I think that's probably enough. I got a ball of dough. Okay, now we're supposed to cover this dough, let it rest and rise at room temperature for like an hour. Okay, here's the first unveiling. Look at that, how much it's grown. It's huge, fluffy, beautiful. All right, here goes nothing. Okay, so I'm supposed to roll this out to like 10 by 14. I think that's close. Fridge for like minimum 6 hours. Okay, here's the crazy thing about making croissants. You have to like measure things, and because we're gonna basically roll out our dough 14 inches long here, and then tomorrow or later tonight we're gonna make a butter block that's only 7 inches long, and the butter block is gonna sit on the dough and you're gonna fold it over, and then tomorrow we're going to do several other folds where you turn it and you roll it out longer, I think to 22 inches, and you're going to do a tri-fold thing a couple times, and you're going to roll it out the other way and do a tri-fold. That gets layers of butter and dough, butter and dough, butter and dough. The crazy thing is, these measurements are kind of important. So I've got masking tape lined out. Right now 14 inches, and I've got markers for 7 inches, so that'll help with my initial dough and the butter block. Okay, this next step is where we're gonna make the butter block. The butter block is gonna get layered inside the dough rectangle. Butter block, this is where we use the parchment paper, and I've traced out a 10 by 7 grid on the paper, and then I flipped it over. I'm gonna layer 225 grams of unsalted, high-fat butter in this, and we'll see how it goes. We're gonna fold it over, we're gonna pound it out, and roll it out, and have this nice, beautiful slab of fat butter. Okay, so I've cut and laid out my butter squares, and now fold this over. Come on, mate. Come on, guys. Okay, so I've got a package of butter. Flip it over. And now I gotta fill that package nice. By the way, any new project needs a new tool. I bought a new rolling pin for this exercise. Apparently you want it nice and level, same thickness. Not quite there yet. Getting a good old slab de beurre. Want it edge to edge. I call that good. One slab of butter. So first of all, this is phase 2 of this production. It's at night. I did the first batch of making my dough in the morning, and I made my bloc de beurre also in the morning. And my dough here has sat in the fridge for 6 hours. Here it is right here. Now we're going to do the laminate, the block of butter into the dough. All right, here's my slab of butter. And put it on here. Look at that, it fits exactly. It's melting already. So yeah, this is why I was saying earlier that the temperature of my house is critical. They say that I could be doing this at 75 or 73. After spending all day cooling my house, here we are in the evening and the house temperature is 80 degrees again. Anyway, so here we go. Fold that over there. I guess I rolled it a little bit. Oh, there's something I have to. Okay, well. Anyway, here's where they say it's important that everything fits and you don't want the butter to escape. So you kind of press things together a little bit here. See, the butter is right at the edge.
I see butter.
Yeah, it's okay.
I thought you said it's interesting.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out if it's okay or not. Okay, I screwed up my videoing. I missed videoing. I thought the video was playing, but I didn't video this whole last section. But fortunately that was turn 1, so I'll be able to explain what happened. So one thing I was saying, because the temperature in the house is so warm, they actually recommend using cooling blocks. Or one woman had a big pot that was in her freezer that she used to cool down her marble before doing this. And you want to do this because I put the butter in the dough, and you don't want that to melt too quickly as we're doing these folds. So when I did the first fold, we're going to do a series of 3 folds. And what the folds do, so basically I rolled out the dough to like 24 inches and didn't worry about the width changing too much. But then I folded it like an envelope in 3. So I put 1/2 from the top down, 1/2 from the bottom up. And so now it's like this nice little book of dough and with the butter inside. And that's called fold 1. And I put it back in the fridge because if the butter gets too soft and melts, then it leaks out or transitions layers, and you don't want that. So they do say you should put that in the fridge for up to an hour, but I'm going to do it less because I also saw that you could do these folds a little more quickly. So I'm going to do a second fold right now, and then I'll refrigerate it for an hour, and then I'll do the third fold and then roll it out. Okay, so this is what it looked like after the first fold. I had rolled it out lengthwise like this, and then folded it in half, in thirds, and now here we are. Okay, so now keep this book binding on the left side, and now I'm going to roll it out again. Okay, here we go. Working toward fold 2. Stretch it. Stretch and flop. I think I mentioned in the first part that didn't get videoed that I've got my blue tape here, and I really want to get this all the way up to 24-inch height. Really kind of springs back on itself. Okay, well, we're close. So here we are, close to that 24 inches, 23 inches. And we do the same fold that I did the first fold. Didn't get caught on video, but basically the same idea. Take it from the top, or fold it like an envelope. Half. Take it from the bottom, fold it like an envelope in half. So that's the second fold done. Now I'm definitely going to put it back in the fridge. Let it sit for an hour to rest, and also have the butter chill again, and go from there. So, back on the pan, back covered up, and we're going into the fridge for an hour. Okay, here we are, gearing up for turn 3. We've got turn 2 in the books. Turn 3. My stack here is not quite looking as perfect as the videos I've observed on YouTube. So, who knows? Guess in the end, 27 folds or layers of dough and butter. Don't like how this is kind of looking a little stressed on the side here. One day I was talking about, well, it hasn't rested enough. You just let it rest some more. Maybe that's the case. Maybe it's, I don't know, but see these little tears there? I got micro tears in my uh-oh. I think I got a breakthrough of some butter here. I think we're looking at a failure mode. Oh dear. This could be a problem. I've sort of lost dough and I got some butter breaking through. Almost the right length, but Okay, turn 3. That is turn 3. Turn 3 going into the fridge. Okay, not feeling good about this. I think it's going to be a problem. It'll still taste good. But I think I'm just going to move forward and do this final rollout tonight and hope it works tomorrow to roll it out and make croissants. But come see, come saw. Okay, here I've sort of marked 16 inches. I'm supposed to roll this out from 16 inches and get it 9 inches wide. This is, I think, just to get a good start on getting to the full length we need tomorrow, which is like 24 inches again. Yeah, when I pick this up, it start to feel the butter oozing through the layers. The layers are just a little thin. See, I've lost. Got butter busting through. I call that close to 16 inches. We got problems. See what's happened here? I've actually busted through my layers of dough into butter underneath. I think it's a failed project, but we'll proceed tomorrow. Good morning. Happy Canada Day. Wearing some red shirts here. As I probably mentioned last night, I think my experiment is a bit of a flop, but we're going to proceed. I'm chilling down my space. One of the things I think is I'm not going to be able to roll this as thin as I need without, this butter oozing out, sticking to the table. But we're going to do the best. So all I need to do right now is roll it out nice and flat in like 9 by 24 inch length, and then cut it into triangles. I've made a little triangle template here that I will use. Basically 4 inches on the base and 9 inches long. I've got my pizza cutter to cut the things. You'll see that. Looks like my dough is sort of recovered over this butter spot, so might be all right if we do this quickly. My dough is not looking anything like what other people's look like. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna call that pretty close. And measurement wise, yes, roughly 9 inches wide. So here we go. We're gonna call it good. So there is some waste here, they say, just a little bit. But you know what? I might make that into one as well. Cut it along my this might not be too bad. I like the hope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, You want to cut a little notch in the bottoms of these. You need to, everyone stretches their dough a little bit here. And then you start rolling. And everything has to roll from the outside. Croissant. This tail goes down on the end. I'm just gonna do it like that for now. Another one. Stretch it out. Splay this a little bit. Stretch these guys out. I feel the butter. You don't want to compact this too much. So I think my rolls are looking pretty good. I have Hope rejoining me. I think these might turn out okay. The last step is making an egg glaze to brush on these. One egg and one egg yolk. I might splash in a little bit of water. Yeah, since I got water right here. I think that just might make it a little thinner. Easier to brush. I don't even have a nice pastry brush. I just got this thing here. Brush the egg glaze on everything. I think some of these are going to be awesome. I had lost hope last night. I've regained it. That butter separation or butter burst through last night kind of healed itself. I think the dough sort of reformed around it. I think, you know, still a little bit of expansion. There's hope. So as I wrap this up, again, this is called proofing. I think these just let some warm up and expand, you know, do their last little expansion. And then, so this should take 2 hours. I'm gonna cover them, let them sit outside in the air for 2 hours. Some people, like probably in colder climates, actually put it in the oven with the light on in the oven just to, you know, try to get a little cozier space for them. So I'm just gonna do this. What the hell? I'm not even gonna proof it for the full 2 hours because I've got a hockey game and I wanna eat a croissant before I go. So I think I'm gonna just do like an hour and a half of this, and then I'm gonna get it in the oven, and then I'm gonna shove one in my face, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, one last baste with the egg and water mixture. Glad I made enough. And then we put them in the oven. So the oven is preheating to 400. And the idea is to put them in and bake them for 10 minutes at 400. And then reduce the heat to 375 and switch the racks around, because I'll have one up top and one down low. We'll switch the racks around and bake them for another 10 minutes and watch them until they're looking crispy perfection. So one in, tray 2 in, timer 10 minutes. Look at those. Look at those layers.
Wow.
Look at those layers.
Amazing.
Off, light off. All right, look at these things. Picture of perfection. Look at these things. Look at the layers.
It makes me wonder why you can't make dinner, but you can make this.
All right. So, I'm told that a good croissant has a light, flaky crust. But look at those layers. You probably can't see that. See those? Look at those layers of... That's what all the folding was about. We're just gonna cut one of these open. Oh, look at that flaky crust. Uh-oh. Well, I think I compressed a little. Maybe when they cool a little better, but I still think that's pretty good. Buttery, okay. Well.
Maybe underbaked.
Maybe underbaked. You think I should throw them in for a couple more minutes? Okay, but I'm gonna taste one. Okay. Maybe I could bake it just a little bit longer. Back in the oven. I sat in the oven for a couple more minutes. Definitely a little more browned. I don't want them to get any browner than that, but hopefully they're fluffier on the inside. Maybe letting them rest like this will help, but they look delicious. Here it is, post-hockey. Got my still Canada Day, switched to new red shirt, got a little moose on the hat. And so I just tossed this into the microwave a little bit just to, whatever. Yeah, it's looking delicious. Flaky. A little jam on there. Delicious. One thing I discovered while making this, it's definitely a sort of a long and complex process. One thing I discovered is next time you're at a place that makes delicious looking croissants, don't worry about spending, $5 or more on a croissant. It's probably worthwhile. A lot of effort goes into these.